Oh, speaking of, y'all seen this? So it's been going around that Destroy Lonely just got passed by Rich Amiri with monthly listeners. Let's see. Okay, Rich Amiri, actually, let's just list out the number because I think they're both at 3.4 mil if you round up. Rich Amiri, 3,436,094 monthly listeners, which is, let's see, is that 40? That's 40K more monthly listeners, roughly. 3,394,309. That's crazy. That's crazy. How much does Ken have? He's got to have more though, right? Because of A Great Chaos. It just dropped, whereas Lone hasn't dropped. Okay, see, look at this. So Ken, yeah. So monthly listeners can kind of be manipulated in a way. Not necessarily by like nefarious ways, although of course if you like bot streams, whatever, I'm not saying they did that, but that's how it could be manipulated in a negative way. But so I'm trying to show you Ken. So because Ken Carson dropped so recently with A Great Chaos, where that dropped, I want to say end of 2023. I don't know the exact date, but it says probably like October. Okay, October. That makes sense because of Halloween. So because he dropped so recently, he's got 6 million. 6 million. And I would say that Destroy Lonely and Ken are kind of at the same level, although Ken Carson of course is ahead of him by a little bit because he's been in Opium longer and he's dropped more projects under Opium at least. So, but Destroy Lonely's next project, when he drops, I think he'll boost up. So I think it's a little bit biased for Rich Amiri to be above Destroy Lonely in this comparison, but it was going viral, so we had to post it, right? But when Destroy Lonely drops, because of Rich Amiri just dropped, I think, like One Call's been going crazy. I heard that it was going to be on Billboard this week or next week or something like that. So let's see, Rich Amiri, when did he drop his project? Ghetto Fabulous. He dropped that November 17th, 2023. So let's see, when did Lone drop? Because honestly, Lone might have dropped like mid 2023. Let's see. So that Rich Amiri dropped November 17, 2023. One Call. So One Call has been going crazy now. So it just now is getting picked up by TikTok or something, because I've been seeing the streams going up daily. I actually really like that song. Rich Amiri's grown on me a lot, and I think a lot in the underground. Like I can even see it by the likes on the page. Like when I post him, people are starting to get behind it. So as I was saying, Destroy Lonely, when did he drop? He dropped If Looks Could Kill May. So I guess that's like not actually that far away. It's 6 months, but still I think Lone is still the bigger rapper. Okay, let's look at the top songs. But it is definitely a big feat for Rich Amiri to get that close to Destroy Lonely, or even passing him. So anyway, as I was saying, Destroy Lonely, his biggest song is, let's see, No Stylist, 86 mil. What is Rich Amiri's biggest song? I feel like he might have like a crazy TikTok hit. One Call. Okay, I was gonna say, watch him have like a song that has 100 million. I wouldn't put it past him, because sometimes artists be like that, where Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson kind of have an unfair advantage because they're Opium, and so they get the Cardi association. And of course they're super relevant because they're synonymous with the underground community or niche, just like Yeet is, and Ken Carson. I'm trying to think of somebody else, maybe like Summers, whereas Rich Amiri is kind of like still new, but when you're outside of just being the cultural relevant people, or people who are getting posted by the blogs literally every single day for just existing, like they had that picture of Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson at Balenciaga in Berlin, Germany. It's like, why is that news? But I guess it's just funny as hell. But then to make it as Rich Amiri has, you gotta have actual TikTok hits that, because Ken and Lone are always gonna have a fan base no matter what they do, just because, again, the label they're signed to, the associations, the affiliations, whereas Rich Amiri, again, has to get all the actual songs and streams himself. Now, he is signed to Internet Money, so obviously they're helping too, but still, like, that's a crazy feat that Rich Amiri's gotten, or technically surpassed Destroy Lonely. But was he really on? I mean, look, again, if you get 3.5 million monthly listeners, like, you're on right now. 3.5 million people listening to you just on Spotify, whether or not they actually know your name, because some people are just listening on playlists and whatever, but still, like, you're on right now. I don't know what Destroy Lonely's monthly listeners peaked at. I'm assuming it's like 4.2 mil or something like that. Imagine he pull up Fago. Man, Fago gotta do something. Fago gotta do something. He just needs to. I saw some DM. We didn't post it or anything, but I saw it on Reddit maybe, where his manager was talking about getting the Billboard placements in New York, or you know how they do that before their album or something. They were working on that, and I think what's going on is that since Fago is independent technically with his distributor, that he doesn't have the major label. He gets a higher percentage of his music, at least from my understanding of what he's released so far. But when you're independent or just have a distro deal, like, the label's not gonna handle the inner workings of the marketing, whereas Interscope, if you're signed to them, or like Warner or Universal or Epic or 300 or whatever, they're gonna have dedicated people, literally employees of the label, that are going to handle anything that you need to be done. Whereas, again, if you're independent, like, you've got to have your management, or you have to hire somebody to go, you have to give them the money to go do something. So that's where the disconnect is. So I think that's why shit moves slow, because they kind of have to do it themselves. But I feel like Fago at this point could get a big ass deal from a label, like 2 mil, 3 mil at least. Especially because with like his recent hype with all of the commenters and the gifts. So why not just get that? Why not just go major record label deal and blow up? That's all he needs. I don't think Fago fell off. Of course he lost relevance, but the fact that no matter what, people are waiting on him to make a comeback or something, like, that shows that he actually has talent. Now, I'm not saying he'll ever make it. It's really up to him. He is in control of his own career, which most people are not. But because like other artists, they're kind of going with the waves of the fans. Like, they're trying to catch on to different trends and different beat styles, whereas Fago is just like kind of a solidified artist in the underground. Now, he's not huge, but still people will always pay attention. At least they have thus far. I'm not saying forever, because of course everyone's gonna fall off at some point. But yeah, that's the situation I think he's in. You talking about like the Can situation? Because I don't think Can cared that much. Like, Can is not a rapper, or he is, but like, that's not how he carries himself. He does not give a fuck. He'll tweet what he wants to tweet. He'll post online what he wants to post online. That's the good thing. Shout out
777,777 donated $1. Yo Bob, listen to Skate Star.
I got you. I actually know who that is already. But that's why when Can has his own business outside of this, where he uses his brand and his personal brand to sell clothes with the double R. But like, once you got your own money outside of the music, like, you're uncancelable, because who gives a fuck if like your music falls off? If you're still relevant by yourself, that's the power in that, of making money outside of the label, especially because like, look what's happening to Jace. Jace said something about a particular group of individuals, let's say, because I'm not trying to get wrapped up in that. And now the label is holding up the check, allegedly. This is what he said on stream, I'm pretty sure. They're holding up the check that he's owed, or maybe he's not actually owed and the label's just like, yo, we don't owe you anything because you recouped or you didn't recoup yet. We gave you an advance, blah, blah, blah. So when you have a business outside of the music game, Can probably got the 500K or whatever it was from his distro deal, put it into his business. And now he's independent essentially. Like he don't gotta drop any music if he doesn't want to. And he's still just like, he can say whatever he wants. And that honestly helps him not fall off too, because now he's like, I don't know, when you're yourself, you can't really fall off from being yourself. You know what I mean? When you're trying to be something else, there'll be cracks in it. Like your costume and everything will start, your disguise will start to wear out. And a lot of these artists are just online characters. That's not actually how they are in real life.